Captain America Comics. 45 smashing pages of Captain America, plus other features. Come on, Cap. Was Bucky to be the next victim of Horror Hospital? Or Captain America Contents. Case number 1. Captain America and the Unholy Legion. Death and destruction followed in the wake of the mysterious beggars who bore the brand of the swastika, but Captain America and Bucky did a little investigating on their own. Case number 2. Captain America and Ivan the Terrible. Out of the pages of history stepped the most feared tyrant of the Middle Ages to conquer all who dared to cross his path, until he picked on Captain America and his youthful ally. Case number 3. Captain America and the Fake Money Fiends. Could the rumbling noises which came from the haunted house of terror mean that here were the printing presses which flooded the nation with millions of counterfeit dollars? Captain America and Bucky dared to find out for themselves. Case number 4. Captain America in Horror Hospital. The blood-curdling screams coming from the desolate sanitarium led Captain America to the most horrible mystery in his adventurous life. Took, Caveboy, and the Ogre of the Cave Dwellers, Tales of Terror from the Dark Ages. Hurricane, Master of Speed, in The Pirate's Crime. When criminals mysteriously disappeared from the American scene, the public was relieved, but Hurricane was suspicious. Captain America and the Unholy Legion. Art and editorial by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Outside the huge Baxter munitions plant, its president, Howard Baxter, surveys the giant factory. In 3 days, my plant will be ahead of our president's production schedule. I'll have a paper, my good man. There you are. Thank you. The next moment. At that same moment, the bony fingers tighten on Howard Baxter's throat. In a nearby state, tragedy stalks John L. Green, nationally known labor leader. And I say again that labor must unite to advance our defense program. In the wings, a crippled beggar lifts his crutch and aims it at Green's back. Ha ha! The crutch gun finishes another Democratic dog. In another part of the country, 2 businessmen are entering a car. Now that the company has solved the problem, we'll be turning out 30 planes a day. Would you kind gentlemen buy an apple from a poor old woman? Yes, George. Democracy will yet lick the dictators. Have an apple. Thanks, Mort. Ha ha! 2 more defenders of democracy are out of the way. The poisoned apples have done their work well. Munitions head slain. Labor leader shot. Aircraft officials poisoned. Meanwhile, a mutilated body is fished out of the river by a cruising police patrol boat. Pull him aboard, Hogan. It's Kenny, all right. He's the 6th dick we fished up this week. His throat's cut, and there's that same swastika branded on his chest. 6 of our best detectives, tortured, branded, and drowned. Our most prominent national figures are murdered in cold blood. There's an insidious organization behind this, a mob that Kenny called the Unholy Legion. On a dark midtown street. Let's hurry, Bucky. I've got to get back to camp for guard duty. Poor devil. Here you are, bud. Thanks, mister. Crossing the street, Bucky is startled by an unusual sight. Cap, look! That legless guy is walking. What? Trail that phony beggar and keep out of trouble, kid. I'll follow as soon as I'm relieved on sentry duty. Okay, Cap. I'll find out all I can. Later. I'll drop my Sentinel of Liberty badges as a marker for Cap to follow. In the meantime, the dark, lonely street is suddenly filled with a motley horde of hideous, shabbily dressed figures who hobble and lope toward an old public building. A little more dirt on my face and I'll be able to join that mob of walking rags. What is the password, sister? Down with democracy. So that's it, eh? And you, what is the password? Down with democracy. Never. Inside the room, the ragged leader speaks to the assembled beggars. The first thing we must do is to drop all our earnings in the corner box as a tribute to the Führer. Gosh. The Führer's collection box. And now, brethren, you can remove your disguises. Ah, it will feel good to stretch my leg. I can take off these dark glasses now. What the? Tonight, my comrades, we have sport with a new G-Man who has fallen into our clutches. But first, we must uncover and prove ourselves. I have the brand. Hail Hitler. Hail Hitler. Uh-oh, I'm sunk. Seeing Bucky hesitate, the leader tears open the boy's shirt. A spy! No, you rat. A patriot. Here's my contribution to the Führer. Swiftly, the beggar band draw their weapons and close in on Bucky. Cornered by the steadily closing circle of enraged beggars, Bucky shouts his battle cry and charges. Wahoo! But Bucky is finally subdued by the weight of numbers. So the wildcat is caught, eh? Now you'll see what we do to your snooping kind. Bring in that G-Man, and heat the swastika brand until it's white hot. Now, you dog. Ah! Take him away, and slit his throat. Boy, what a spot. If only Cap would come. Now for you, my young friend. But suddenly, gangway, boys! Donnerwetter, it's Captain America! Cap, I knew you'd follow my Sentinel of Liberty badge signal. Let's start cleaning house. The beggar leader drops the sizzling brand and quickly draws a concealed gun from his sweater. Yankee swine! But Bucky is not idle either. He burns off his bonds on the hot brand, and seizing the white-hot iron, he makes for the beggar leader. Here's where you break the high jump record. Ow! Meanwhile, Captain America is menaced by another beggar wielding a knife. No, you don't. Ow! Beset by howling, infuriated beggars from all sides, Captain America finds a noose thrown over his head by a ragged adversary from behind. Pull hard, men! This'll strangle him sure. Holy smoke! The dirty rats are trying to strangle Cap! Bucky burns the rope with the branding iron. What the? Hey! Captain America, momentarily weakened by the strain of the rope, is buried under an avalanche of filthy, stench-ridden bodies. About to hurl himself into the mass of beggars to save his friend, Bucky suddenly catches sight of something in the rear of the room. Hot diggity! A machine gun! Alright, you skunks, get off a Cap, or I'll start spraying bullets at the pack of you. The beggars are taken by surprise and hastily release Captain America. Nice work, Bucky. You saved my life. While Bucky trains the machine gun on the beggars, their leader suddenly lifts a trapdoor in the floor and bolts for a getaway. We shall meet again, you Yankee devils. But the ever-alert Captain America gives swift pursuit. The bottom of this thing ends in some sort of tunnel. Blitzen! I'm being followed! Meanwhile, in the room above the tunnel, Bucky herds the beggars into a cage where they held imprisoned G-men. Get in there, all of you. Now lock the door behind you and toss me the key. Leaving the cage beggars for the FBI to find, Bucky follows Captain America in his pursuit of the ringleader. There goes Cap. He's chasing the head bag rags. Ha! I see the boat. Soon I will give those swine the slip. I'm safe. Ha 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 ha! Our Nazi friend takes us for fools, Bucky. He thinks we're giving up the chase. I get you, Cap. We're gonna take a swim, huh? Sorry about my costume, Cap. I was forced to remove it when I ripped my clothes to look like a beggar, but I still have my mask and boots. Okay, kid, let's shove off. The heroes strike out into the surrounding darkness as the icy waters chill their bones to the marrow. I thought so. Look ahead, Bucky. That's where our beggar pal is hiding out. A submarine. A German submarine. In the Nazi submarine, the beggar spy talks with the commander. Captain America has broken up my organization. Dive at once. Jawohl, Herr Schnupp. But before the hatches close, the submarine takes on 2 more passengers. Suddenly, a sailor glances upward and shouts a warning. Gott in Himmel! It's Captain America! My calling card, Fritz. But the alarm has been given. Captain America and Bucky must face the whole murderous Nazi crew. Here come the boys, Cap. Yeah, let's go out and meet 'em. Let me pass, boys. I'm looking for someone. Ow! Hiya, Admiral. Amerikaner swine! Now taste death! Bucky, come back here! Sorry, Cap. I gotta stop this. Kill them, you fool! Kill them! Beautiful timing, kid. Now to nab his highness, King Rags. Ha ha ha! They'll never get me now. I've outsmarted Captain America again. Too late. He'll escape in the torpedo tube. That guy has more luck. With the unconscious commander and crew strewn throughout the submarine, Bucky goes to work on the U-boat engines with a time bomb. This will disable their engines until the police arrive. Captain America and Bucky streak up the hatchway to the U-boat's deck, where they see. There goes our pal, the beggar in that invasion torpedo tube. It's built to carry men to shore. Let's get off this tube, Cap. That bomb's due to explode any second now. Holy smoke. Come on, kid. Its engine room completely demolished. The sub settles in the water as the explosion brings a nearby destroyer to the scene. Why, it's a German U-boat, sir, and fire's pouring from her hatches. A Nazi raider in these waters? Order a rescue party oversight at once. Pick up all survivors, Warren. Confound the nerve of those Nazis. Meanwhile, the beggar leader reaches shore in the invasion torpedo. I must free my men at the meeting place. Captain America and Bucky reach shore as the beggar departs. There he goes, Bucky. After him. He'll free those caged rats. This time he won't escape. In the old abandoned town hall, the beggar chief attacks the lock on the cage that holds his tattered horde. The vengeful, slobbering creatures of horror are liberated from their steel prison as their croaks and cries of anger fill the room. This time Captain America dies. His blood will spill. We'll blind him. Suddenly, Captain America and Bucky appear in the wrecked doorway. Okay, boys, this is the showdown. Cut him down, men. No, you don't. Whew. Captain America mercilessly beats down the remaining beggars and tears across the room toward their cowering chief. This time you won't get away, your royal rag ship. I'll kill you first. I don't think you will, my fat-headed friend. I guess that finishes the Unholy Legion. Let's get back to camp, Bucky. I want to hit the hay. Just as soon as I call the FBI, Cap. The late news reports, that night, broadcast the smashing of the Unholy Legion to millions of eager Americans, including the President in Washington. And the FBI gives full credit for the capture of the spy ring to Captain America. Whoever and wherever the rascal is, America thanks him. His deeds will live forever. While in Fort Lehigh, Captain America and Ivan the Terrible. In the throne room of his castle, in the far-off regions of Siberia, sits Ivan the Terrible, king of the Tartars. After stealing the kingdom by force, he rules his subjects with an iron hand. Know you dogs that King Ivan is about to hold court and give all captives and criminals a fair trial. Grisha was caught stealing grapes from the royal garden, Majesty. I only took a few. Throw him to the wolves. Next case. This is the next prisoner, Your Highness, Wazira, king of the Africans who was captured in our last raid. So you were a king, eh? Yes, a kind and a just king to my people. Are you implying that I'm not a kind and just king? Yes. Ah! Dog! You dare defy Ivan the Terrible? Take him away and bring in the next prisoner. I'm your next prisoner, Ivan. Ah, Betty Ross. How pretty you are. If you are nice to me, I will treat you well, even though your father tries to steal my throne. Your throne? You vile beast. You're the one who stole the throne from my father, the rightful king. Throw that impudent wench into the dungeons, where her beauty may rot forever. The next prisoners are a man and boy who call themselves Captain America and Bucky. Ha ha! What a lovely blue shade on his suit. It would look well as a dress. Yes, their clothes are peculiar. That's why they were arrested on suspicion of being spies. At least under this blue there is a man, you big bag of wind. You dare to speak in such a manner to Ivan the Terrible? Ivan is about to repeat his previous performance. How do you like the medicine I dish out, Ivan? Dogs! Swine! Throw these pigs into the dungeon with Betty Ross, where they can all starve to death. Later, in the dungeon. Who are you, miss? I'm Betty Ross, daughter of this country's rightful king. My father is even now hiding with some friends a few miles from this castle. Looks like we ought to help the young lady. The bars are bending. We'll have you out of here in a jiffy. Then we're going to visit your father. Careful, they are armed. Looks like a little action ahead. I'm ready, Cap. One of the drawbridge sentries senses the fugitive's presence and bellows his challenge to Captain America. Halt! In the name of Ivan the Terrible! Don't fall off the bridge, Bucky. Let's go, Cap! Yahoo! I'm sorry, Betty, but we have no time to lose. Nobody is following us. Some time later, the three fugitives reach the cave where the exiled king and his followers are hiding. Captain America and Bucky, this is my father, King Peter Ross. What can you and this boy hope to accomplish alone? You come back to the castle with me, and I'll do the rest. Just leave it to us. Later at the castle. What can we do? The drawbridge is up. Watch and see. I get you, Cap. Hop on, kid. Alley-oop. Up you go. A few minutes later, the drawbridge mysteriously comes down. A miracle! It's a miracle! Meanwhile, in the throne room, Ivan the Terrible sits and nurses his black eye. So those blue devils got away, eh? Yes, sire. 10 men must have helped them escape by the way those bars were bent. If I could only lay my hands on them now. We'd use their heads for footballs. So you want to play football, do you? And here's a present for you boys. I'll fix him. Suddenly, Bucky streaks out of nowhere and tackles the cowardly Ivan. You got here in the nick of time, kid. Ow! My hand! Mercy! Mercy! Please don't hit me with those hammers anymore! Will you resign your throne in favor of the rightful king, Peter Ross? Yes, yes! Anything you say! Only don't let a house fall on me. I thought you'd come to terms. Later that day, Ivan the Terrible abdicates his throne in an announcement to his oppressed subjects. I resign my throne in favor of King Peter. Hooray! The liberated people cheer madly for their heroes as Captain America and Bucky, hoisted on the shoulders of the newly freed subjects, lead King Peter's triumphal procession into the city. Hooray for Princess Betty! Hooray for Captain America and Bucky! 3 cheers for King Peter! Hooray, King Peter! Hooray, Betty! Yahoo! Hey, what goes on here? Wake up, Bucky! Wake up! Where am I? Where's King Peter? What in the world are you talking about? Who's King Peter? Oh, good morning, Cap. Ah, it was all a dream, Cap. It looked more like a nightmare. It was a nightmare, with that walking beard, Ivan the Terrible roaring all over the place and killing people. But we got him, Cap. Come on, kid, get dressed. I hear reveille blowing. Next month, more exciting adventures of Captain America and Bucky in The Great Sea Dragon Mystery Ringmaster of Death. Captain America thwarts treason from within, plus other great features. Don't miss it. Captain America, The Case of the Fake Money Fiends. Not far from Army Camp Lehigh is the quiet little town of Hillsdale, which is the scene of a very strange happenings. The ghost! We saw the ghost! Help! The house is haunted! Deserted house believed haunted. Children frightened by Hillsdale ghost. All Hillsdale shuns haunted house. Meanwhile, in Camp Lehigh, Private Steve Rogers and his young pal, Bucky Barnes, chat with Tom Peters, a soldier friend. Honestly, fellas, that town of Hillsdale is poison. I was there yesterday and someone slipped me a fake $20 bill. But that could happen anywhere, Tom. There are counterfeiters all over. And that's not all. There's a haunted house in Hillsdale. The townspeople won't go near it. That's mighty interesting. Yes, sir. Mighty interesting. Their curiosity aroused by Tom's story, Steve Rogers and his young friend decide to investigate, as Captain America and Bucky. Just for fun, Bucky, old boy, we'll visit the town of Hillsdale and have a look at this haunted house. Hot dog, Cap. I'm just itching to tangle with some ghosts. Ever in search of adventure and excitement, Captain America and Bucky speed toward Hillsdale's haunted house. Come on, Slowpoke. We've got things to do. Right behind you, Cap. A little later, the reckless crime fighters reach the haunted house. Gee, Cap, it looks harmless enough. Maybe it isn't haunted. Well, there's one way to find out. There you are, Bucky, my lad. Now open that window. Borrowing Captain America's shield, Bucky smashes the window. Captain America follows Bucky through the broken window into a bare, semi-dark room. Bucky, do you hear it? A soft humming noise. Cap, look! Do you see what I see? A ghost. He looks rather friendly to me. Our ghost friend seems to be ignoring us. He's going into the next room. Let's follow. The ghost has vanished. Listen, that humming noise again. Suddenly, from out of the shadows. What the? So there you are, pals. Ow! So you ghosts are real flesh and blood, eh? The white-clothed figure quickly recovers and draws a gun on Bucky. Now I'll attend to you, you little brat. Help! Cap! I can't reach Bucky in time. I gotta think fast. Captain America's speed of thought and action saves Bucky's life as he hurls his shield across the room and downs Bucky's would-be murderer. Cap, that humming noise seems to be coming from here. I'll be with you in a second, Bucky. There. I guess that'll hold our ghost friends for a while. As the two adventurers open the door. Gee, Cap, look. A counterfeiter's den. And there in the far corner, a woman tied to a chair. Captain America! Holy smoke, they've got Betty Ross! Ever eager for battle, the two mighty fighters attack the counterfeiters in the face of overpowering odds. Okay, Bucky, mow 'em down. Aye aye, Cap, here we go. For it's only the brave that fight when outnumbered, and only the valiant who can look death in the face. Yipe! A beautiful double play, Cap. How that man knows his timing. Captain America finishes off the last mobster and proceeds to lock the gang into a nearby closet. Get in there, you lugs. The fun's over for today. Once again, I owe my life to you, Captain America. I've been trailing these counterfeiters for a long time. The gang leader found out that I was a federal agent and had me captured. If not for you, I might have been killed. They've been printing their fake money in this house while they frighten the townspeople away with their ghost act. But this is only one of their hideouts. We've still got to find the gang chief in his other den. You mean we haven't captured the whole mob? Oh no. The leader is a small ex-government printer who was fired for theft. Find him, and you'll break up the gang. The two daring crime fighters, the sound of their gay laughter still echoing in Betty's ears, suddenly fade into the mysterious night. The next day, at Army Camp Lehigh. What's our next move, Cap? A move we'll both enjoy, Bucky. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to dodge drilling and tramp it to Hillsdale disguised as a farmer, and if someone tries to pass fake money to me... I get the idea, Cap. What do I do, huh? You, my boy, have a grave mission to carry out. The nation's fate rests on you alone. You're gonna stay in camp and keep out of trouble. What? Okay then, pal. I guess there's no stopping you. I want you to scout around Hillsdale. If you discover anything interesting, report to me at the corner of Main Street. Now hop to it. Gosh, Cap, I knew you wouldn't let me stay behind. And now I'm on my own, too. Oh boy. Later, Steve hears the call to assembly and quickly hastens to fall in. There's assembly, and here I go. Private Rogers, I'd like a word with you. Uh-oh. He must have found out I was absent last night. Perhaps you can tell me who put sneezing powder in my tobacco, and why did you? Who? He had me scared for a minute. Why, Sergeant, would I do a thing like that? What can you be thinking of? I'll tell you what I'm thinking of, you... Sergeant Duffy, you're holding up half of the United States Army. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Company, right face. Forward march. I'll get you later, Rogers. I'll, achoo! Gesundheit, sir. As the flustered Sergeant Duffy walks down the line, Steve Rogers breaks away from his company. Sometime later, Steve Rogers appears in Hillsdale disguised as a farmer, and on the lookout for trouble. Well, here I am. If I don't attract any counterfeiters in this disguise, then there just aren't any. Hey Rube, wanna buy the Brooklyn Bridge? S'matter, Zeke? Lost your pet mule? Hi, Buster. Would you like to smell my pretty flower? Don't mind if I do, stranger. Ha ha! Don't you know enough to get in out of the rain? And don't you know enough not to bathe with your clothes on? A few minutes later, a furtive-looking passerby stops and whispers to Steve. Hello, sport. Got change of a $50 bill? Why, I think so. Steve changes the $50 bill and immediately swings into action as the thug drives away in his car. Boy, what a sucker. Ha 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 ha. Finally, the car stops at a deserted warehouse on the town's outskirts. So that's their hideout. Hey, Cap, wait for me! Bucky. How did you find me, kid? I saw you in back of that car a block back and followed. Once more, the two gallant crime fighters prepare to give battle to the hordes of evil. Now for some fun, eh, Bucky lad? Aye aye, Cap. Let's go. Things happen very fast after the following second. Wahoo! It's them guys what broke up our other hideout. Give it to 'em, boys. Captain America and Bucky tear into the mob with the fury of a cyclone. I'll show you guys what a mop-up really is. The wizened little leader of the gang becomes panicky and flees through a side door of the basement which leads to the sewers. Leaving Bucky to tie up the unconscious mobsters, Captain America pursues the chief counterfeiter. Of course that little runt doesn't think he can get away, does he? Oops, gotcha. Now say, Uncle. Uncle! Yes, sir. Your Uncle Sam wants to see you. You've been a nasty boy, and Uncle will probably give you and your mob a nice stiff sentence. Hours later, the airwaves crackle with news of the sensational capture. Captain America scores again. Counterfeit gang in custody. Country's ace crime hunter nabs counterfeiters. While in Camp Lehigh. Oh, how sad the boys look. In fact, they seem to be crying. I put 'em on onion peeling duty for missing drill parade, Miss Ross. Captain America in Horror Hospital. What was the sinister secret behind the inhuman screams which came from the desolate darkness of Dr. Grimm's sanitarium on the hill? High in a lonely tower room of an old building, sinister plots are being hatched in the twisted scientific brain of a madman. I must be patient. In a few more hours my experiment will be completed, and Goro will strike terror into the hearts of those who defy me. Well, Goro, it's almost time for your meal. You shall eat hearty tonight, my pet. Ha 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 ha. Meanwhile, Private Steve Rogers and his young pal Bucky are off to see a movie while on leave from camp. I hope it's not a gangster picture. Guns and shooting make me nervous. Ah, cut it out, Steve. As our heroes approach the movie theater, Bedlam breaks loose as two thugs, with guns still smoking, attempt a getaway after looting the cash box. Help! Police! Robbers! Murder! Help! Split seconds witness the changing of Steve Rogers into Captain America, the daring nemesis of crime. Come on, Slowpoke. He who takes long to put mask on is surprised to find Crook gone. Check. as the armed thieves near the alleyway. What's your hurry? You're not going anywhere. The twin tornadoes swing into action. Take that, wise guy! Hey, cut that out! Nail him, Chuck! Oof! Waltz him around again, Willie. Bucky, meanwhile, finds his opponent a treacherous customer. Here's a present for you, babyface. Ow! Blackjack a kid, will ya? Captain America returns to his stricken buddy. Bucky! Bucky! Speak to me, kid! Quickly dressing himself and Bucky in their army uniforms, Steve Rogers hails a taxi. Hey! Taxi! Drive to the nearest hospital. Okay, bud. The Grim Private Hospital. It's straight up Glen Road. Later. This is it, soldier. I hope the kid's alright. Thanks, driver. You want to see Doctor, yes? Come in, please. What a queer fellow. Oh, where am I? Easy, feller. You'll be okay as soon as the doctor has a look at you. This way, this way. Steve Rogers and Bucky are ushered into the office of Dr. Grimm. Come in, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Grimm. Lom, help the boy to a chair. I'm Steve Rogers, and this is Bucky Barnes. He hurt his head in a fall. The boy's been badly shaken up. I suggest that he stays here a few days until he recovers. I see, Doctor. I hope he'll be all right. This is such a quiet, lonely place. Some of my patients are insane and need quiet, but you can rest assured the boy will be safe. Goodbye, Mr. Rogers. Bucky means a lot to me. Take good care of him. Don't worry. He'll be well taken care of. I don't like the way he said that. Later that night, Bucky has a talk with his nurse. I don't like this place, Miss Ray. It gives me the creeps. Dr. Grimm says there are madmen here. Have you ever seen any? No. I've only been here a few days. The nurse before left suddenly without notice. But I don't like it here either, Bucky. At night, I hear queer noises. I'm frightened. Frightened? Frightened of what? I don't know, but very queer things are happening here. Very queer. During the night, Bucky wakes up suddenly. I thought I heard something. Help! Oh, help! 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 There it is again. It sounded like Miss Ray. I'm going to see what's wrong. Bucky dashes across his room and tears open his door, only to recoil in horror at the monstrous being crouching outside his threshold. Wow! Arrgh! Jeepers creepers! Who does he belong to? Ah, there you are, Egan. Mustn't break away from your leash, you know. Boy, am I glad to see you. Don't be afraid, my boy. Egan is quite harmless, when I'm holding his leash. Were you going somewhere? I heard a noise upstairs, like a woman screaming. Did you hear it too? No, I heard nothing. It must have been your nerves. Well, maybe you're right. But what about him? I'm taking Egan back to his room. I always take him for a walk at night. Good night now. Pleasant dreams. Oh, by the way, I wouldn't leave my room at night if I were you. I let Egan roam about by himself for a while. You'd better remember that. The next morning, in Bucky's room. Hiya, Lom. Where's Miss Ray this morning? Lom knows nothing. Maybe she run away last night. Ha ha ha. Anyway, we advertised for a new nurse this morning. Now eat, and ask Lom no more questions. After Lom departs, Bucky finds a pencil and some paper and writes a hurried note to Captain America. Dear Steve, there is something very mysterious going on here. Last night, I heard a cry for help, and today my nurse is missing. I think this is a case for Captain America. So please come at once. This place crawls with hidden danger. Your pal, Bucky. Captain America, is it? I think I'll mail this and make sure he's properly received when he gets here. Ha 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 ha. Back in Fort Lehigh, Steve Rogers is also having his share of trouble, though not as serious. But I tell you, Sarge, I didn't put those frogs in your bed. Honest. Shut up! About face! Get your gun, wise guy. You're gonna do sentry duty till your bunions pop. Now hop to it. Double time. Yes, sir. Oof. Oh. Why, it's Private Rogers. Oh yes, Miss Ross. Private Rogers has stubbed his itty-bitty toes. That night, while Steve Rogers is on sentry duty. This note came for you, Steve. It says urgent. Thanks for sneaking it out to me, Pete. Listen, Pete. I'd like you to take a note to Betty Ross and take my place for a while. I just have to get away. It's very important. Okay, Steve. You've done plenty of favors for me. Once again, Private Steve Rogers steals away from camp on a mission of justice. Once again, Captain America races to do battle with evil. Arriving at Grim Hospital, Captain America proceeds to scale the walls with the lithe movements of a stalking panther. Seems kinda quiet here. Kill! Kill! What comic book did you escape from? Whimpering with pain, Egan rushes into another room with Captain America on his heels. Egan pulls a hidden lever in the wall, and the steel door shuts with a clang behind them. Water! Egan, get lots of water! What the? This door's airtight! Now we die! We both die! Ha 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 ha! The airtight room fills rapidly with water. Maniac! There must be a way out. I've gotta find it. Captain America's keen eyes notice a closed trapdoor in the ceiling. Desperately prying at it with his shield, he weakens its lock mechanism. Exerting every ounce of his strength, Captain America lunges upward, smashing through the splintering trapdoor. Whew. I'll never be able to look a drop of water in the face again. Captain America whirls at the sound of a voice nearby. What a pity. Now I'll have to shut off the water. Dr. Grimm, what have you done with Bucky? He's being taken care of, Captain America. My pet, Goro, is playing with him now. You must meet Goro. You shall. You shall. Ha 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 ha. I must keep Goro alive. He is my greatest experiment. He must have human blood to survive, and I must drain an entire body to feed him. Your little friend Bucky is being prepared now, and you're next. As Captain America lunges forward, Dr. Grimm presses a concealed button. A huge glasso-metal cage whizzes down and ensnares him. Au revoir, my dear Captain. Why, you'll settle with me yet if you dare harm that boy. The next morning, Dr. Grimm interviews a new applicant for the nurse's position. So, Miss Ross, you want this job as nurse. Just one question first. Have you got good blood? Why, yes, I have. But what if... You'll find out later, Miss Ross. You may meet some friend of yours upstairs later, too. Now, Captain America, we're going upstairs for a little reunion. Okay, you quack. Take this goldfish bowl off me, and let's get going. Whatever you have up your sleeve, Grimm, it won't help you a bit. Your experimenting days are over. Betty! Bucky! Cap! Enraged by the plight of his friends, Captain America whirls on his captor. You rat! Flooring Dr. Grimm, Captain America rushes over to free Bucky and Betty. I'll have you free in a minute, kid. Lam! Quick! Let Goro out! Open the cage! Suddenly, a loud roar echoes from the rear end of the room as a huge, monstrous shape bears down on Captain America. Goro is loose. Holy mackerel! Look out, Cap! Good lord, what a monster! Kill, Goro! Kill! I'll take care of you, you overgrown monkey. Landing behind the monster, Captain America attacks Lam. Now to settle with you, Lam, old boy. Suddenly, Captain America finds himself in the steel grip of huge, beast-like fingers. Goro returns for his prey. Picking up Dr. Grimm's fallen automatic, Bucky races to Captain America's rescue. Hang on, Cap! I'm coming! Bucky fires point blank at the monster's hideous face. Bucky's close-range fire brings Goro crashing to the floor as Captain America frees himself from the monstrosity's now nerveless fingers. Wow, he almost finished me that time. Where's Dr. Grimm? Where's Betty? Gosh, Cap, they're both gone! Meanwhile, Dr. Grimm, his mind completely gone, prepares to hurl Betty Ross from a tower balcony to the rocks below. Over you go, my pretty wench! Ha ha ha! Help! Not so fast, brother. Then begins a fierce fight to the death between Captain America and the madman Dr. Grimm. Oh, Bucky, I can't bear to look! A loud, piercing scream rends the night air as one of the two struggling figures hurtles over the balcony. Ah! That's the end of Dr. Grimm. Yeah, let's beat it, Cap, before Betty Ross sees enough of my face to recognize me at camp. You see, Miss Ross, Dr. Grimm aimed to breed Goro to a point where he'd become almost human. Aided by Goro's strength, Grimm planned a career of crime, but of course, like all criminals, he failed. I suggest you remain and explain all this to the police when they arrive. But wait, Goodbye, Miss Ross. Let's go, Cap. There they are below, running into the night, but I have a feeling we'll meet again soon. Later, back in camp, Steve Rogers and Bucky, in army clothes, approach the sentry. Thanks for taking over for me, Pete. The sentry turns around, and... Welcome home, boys. You two are just in time for a month's duty in the kitchen. Sergeant Duffy. Took, caveboy. Long before the dawn of history, there was tyranny in the primeval wilds. Took, the caveboy, and his companion Tanir come upon a village stricken with terror. We are strangers here. Why do you flee? The signal fires tell us that Bonzo, the brute, is coming this way. Woe to the weak and old who cannot escape his clutches. Perched on a lofty limb, Took and Tanir watch the coming of Bonzo the brute and his ruthless band. Take everything and spare no lives. Bonzo commands it. The caves are sacked of food. Suddenly, from one of the caves, lashing his club with all the fury of a wild man. Look, there is one who did not flee. He is brave. He stayed for the sake of someone weaker. Tanir's words are true, for one of the brutes drags from the cave a woman and a newborn babe. The brave one pounces upon him. Outnumbered, he is easy prey for the brutes. A club is aimed at the head of the defenseless woman, but an arrow from the sky stops its descent. Magic! Fright seizes Bonzo and his band. Tanir reveals himself. Order your beast to go, Bonzo, or the next magic stick will find its way to your heart. Go with them to the jungle. I must stay. Bonzo will regain courage and come back. Took, the woman, and baby begin a tedious trip through the brush. After a short distance, the weary woman cannot go on. Leave me here to die, cub, and take the little one with you. Instead, Took carries the woman to a clearing in the jungle. He gathers food and makes a fire. You will be safe here with this fire. In the meantime, Tanir is a victim of treachery. Bonzo's men feign a frontal attack, while others strike from the rear. Look, Bonzo, without the magic stick he is helpless. I will smash his head like an egg. No, wait. I must have the secret of the magic stick. Torture him instead. Torture will do no good. The magic was given me by a witch man and will go with my life. Then live as a member of my band, or die like a snake. Death would be dearer to Tanir, but he thinks of the cub boy who needs his aid. I will use the magic stick in your name. And treachery means torture and death. Just then, Took is spied on a rocky rise. A cave cub! Pierce it with your magic stick! The well-aimed arrow warns Took of the danger ahead, without harming him. A ruse to save Took occurs to Tanir. I am fleet of foot. I will bring him back. Keep close to him. I do not trust him yet. Took joins Tanir at the edge of the jungle. But you aimed your magic stick at me. It was a trick, my brave little friend. We must conquer Bonzo and his brutes with our wits as well as our skill. This is overheard by Bonzo's spy, who hides in the tree above. Bonzo was right. He is a traitor. Took tells Tanir of the secret hiding place. Make a trail for me with broken twigs. I will come when I can, but Bonzo must suspect nothing. Then suddenly, the cave boy saves his friend's life. He must not live to tell Bonzo. Took and Tanir part. Took makes for the jungle hiding place, and Tanir goes to rejoin Bonzo's band. At Bonzo's encampment. He is back without the cub! He should die! The cub is fleeter than I, but I came back with my magic stick. It is true. You came back. It pleases me to let you live and test further your trustfulness. Will Took and Tanir succeed in overthrowing the power of Bonzo the Brute and his followers? See the next exciting issue of Captain America Comics. Hurricane, Master of Speed, in The Pirate and the Missing Ships. Late in the 16th century, a strange scene is taking place on an uncharted island in the Pacific. A pirate is being sentenced to lifelong exile. The old pirate swears vengeance. Leave old John Cruthers stranded on this miserable island, will ye? Well, I'll show ye. I'll get even somehow. Mark my words. Someday you'll regret this. Old John Cruthers swears it. From his first moment, the evil old pirate begins to make a plan of revenge. There's a lot of natives on this island. Suppose I was to teach them a few things. They could be taught to fight with a knife, and how to run a man through with a cutlass. Gad, I could have a small army here. In a few months, Cruthers transforms the peaceful island natives into bloodthirsty, battling savages. Avast, ye lubbers! That's the way to hold your weapons. Now let's see you use 'em like men. But a tropical fever soon strikes the old pirate. Men, I'm dying, but you've got to carry on for me. You'll build large galleys and scour the seas, robbing and destroying every ship you come across. It is you who will revenge me. And so, the pirates lived on the little isle for many years, years which ran into centuries. And now, in the 20th century, we find their descendants about to embark on a strange journey. Avast, you swabs! Make fast the topsail! The spirit of old John Cruthers is watching, and we'll give him something to chill the marrow of his rotting bones. The pirates leave the island for the first time. But let us turn our attention to New York City, where a handsome young man approaches a newspaper boy. Extra! Extra! Read all about it! Here, son, I'll have one. Monarch of America missing. Coast Guard and police authorities are astonished at the increased disappearance of ocean liners. The Monarch of America is the latest ship to be reported missing. It was due 3 days ago and hasn't been heard from for a week. Hurricane becomes interested in the missing boats. So, ships have been disappearing, have they? That's rather interesting. I think I'll look into this. But first, I'll go to the steamship office. Look where you're going, bud. Do you want to be hit by a car? The car that tried to hit me would have to catch me first. The god of speed races away. Well, I'll be at the steamship ticket office. I guess I might as well close up. People are too scared to buy tickets now. What the? I haven't time for much talking. Just tell me, where were the ships that disappeared when they were last heard from? I'll show you on the map. There it is, just north of the Hawaiian Islands. Thank you very much. Well, guess I'll be breezing along. Hurricane makes a rapid exit. Brr, that guy's a regular hurricane. Well, it looks as though I have a big job ahead of me, and the sooner I get started, the sooner I'll be finished. The master of the storm prepares for action. With a glad cry, the son of Thor, god of thunder, takes to the sky. After many hours of searching, Hurricane comes upon a strange, uncharted island. Why, this island looks like it is inhabited by pirates. Pirates! That's it! There must be pirates roving the high seas once again, and I'm lucky enough to have discovered their hideout. But it's deserted. They must be out sailing again. I've got to find them before they do some more damage. There it is. And there's its intended victim. Well, well, we'll see about that. Pirates! We'll all be killed! So, Captain, by the beard of a mountain goat, if you don't surrender your ship, I'll blow her out of the water. And let me warn you, Captain, that if you don't clear off this ship in 2 minutes, I'll blow, and I mean blow your ship back to its island. Why, you young pup, I'll slit you in two like... Hurricane stands motionless. Oh! Rather a lucky coincidence for me, eh, Captain? Make a fool out of me, will you? I can't improve upon nature. And now to send you back to where you came from. The master of the storm unleashes his fury. You can sail on now. I'll go to see that those pirates never stop another ship. Bon voyage. In a flash of light, Hurricane disappears after the pirate ship. And now to finish this little task. It's him! It's that demon! Kill him! Kill him! Hurricane dodges the bullet as a man would dodge a snowball. And now to attend to you cutthroats. Hurricane grabs their guns. First, I'll relieve you of your little toys. The god of the storm passes judgment. You have murdered, stolen, and destroyed. Therefore, I must show you no mercy. I'm going to let you pay a visit to my cousin, Cousin Pluto. Hurricane metes out his punishment. I dare say Pluto will give his guest a warm reception, but somehow I have a feeling that Pluto is preparing something. He's been too quiet lately. Oh well, I'll wait and see, but when it comes, I'll be ready.